We're now heading to Scotland. I'm meeting with the Prime Minister of UK.
Preparing to take off and tee off at his 2 golf resorts in Scotland.
Not write a letter for Jeffrey Epstein's birthday.
A president who hasn't been able to swing the agenda away from stories about his ties to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
They talk about me. I have nothing to do with the guy.
Mr. President, are you running away from the Epstein files?
He wouldn't say if he was considering a clemency deal for Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, who is being interviewed again today by the Department of Justice.
Mr. President, should Scotland be proud of its links to you? Mr. President, is now the right time to be focusing on golf? Well, Donald Trump will welcome opportunities to fly away from questions here about the Epstein scandal, but there is every chance that that story now flies with him to Scotland on a visit that will be both personal and political.
This is a private visit to his mother's homeland, but one which will take place in some very public locations and include opening a new golf course. So a huge security effort now awaits the president, who's due to land in Prestwick on the west coast of Scotland this evening, touching down in a country which has often seemed reluctant to roll out the welcome mat. Thousands of protesters gathered when Donald Trump visited his Scottish golf courses during his first term as president in 2018.
No Trump, no KKK, no Nazi USA!
Thousands are expected to take part in what is being branded a festival of resistance in Aberdeen and Edinburgh this weekend.
Mr. Prime Minister, thank you very much.
While in the UK, the president will meet with the Prime Minister to talk trade. Some details about steel tariffs remain under discussion. He's also due to speak to Scotland's First Minister John Swinney, who endorsed his rival Kamala Harris in the US election.
And I think people would ordinarily expect me to engage with the President of the United States and to protect and to promote the interests of Scotland. And then also on the international stage, where obviously people in Scotland, and I share those concerns, are hugely anxious about the situation in Gaza, horrified by what is going on there, and require all of the international pressure to be applied to Israel to bring that conflict to an end.
The quiet Scottish countryside offers a reprieve from the sharp political satire that's happening back home.
Nobody makes fun of me and gets away with it!
Where South Park has angered the White House with skits on the Epstein row.
What? Hey, relax! Come on, Satan, I've been working hard all day!
But this stunt, rebranding the president's Aberdeenshire course as Epstein Island, shows the Scottish sense of humour can be just as biting.
Catherine Sampson there. Well, Mr. Trump can expect a somewhat mixed welcome this weekend. One Scottish newspaper depicted his photo on its front page alongside the headline, "Convicted US felon to arrive in Scotland." He's due to land at Turnberry very soon. Kieran Moodley is there. Kieran.
Yes, Air Force One is due at Prestwick Airport shortly, and then Donald Trump and his long motorcade will make it here to his Turnberry golf course. Many roads nearby have been closed off and thousands of police officers have been called in. It's meant to be a private visit this weekend, really. He has no public events scheduled on Saturday and Sunday as he plays golf. But the politics, as we've heard, is never far away. There will be protests across Scotland tomorrow, and there will be these meetings. We just heard a few hours ago that the President of the EU Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, will meet with Trump on Sunday, and then on Monday he's due to meet Sir Keir Starmer, as well as at some point the Scottish First Minister John Swinney. And remember, this is personal and political because that's how Donald Trump operates. Starmer is trying to obviously finalise that trade deal with the US. To do that, he needs to stay on side with the US government, and therefore he needs to stay on side with Donald Trump, the man, the businessman, the golfer. For example, there are reports that the UK government is trying to push the body that's in charge of the Open Golf Tournament to bring that tournament here to Trump Turnberry. The idea being, if you give Trump something, you get something back from the US government. The question there, though, is whether Starmer will use his friendship and his leverage with Trump to address the issue of starvation in Gaza, or whether Starmer will bring up the issue of Palestinian statehood. And so despite all the golf, there will be politics, there will be headlines, and there will be protests here in Scotland over the next few days.
Thank you, Kieran, very much. Kieran Moody there in Turnberry.